So, I mean, talking about beautiful trailers and things like that that's going to be shown, Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
You were right when you said delicious, because
Delicious.
Lord, yeah.
All I'm gonna
Delicious.
say is the trailer was nice. I just didn't understand what was going on.
It's cool. It's all right. It's okay, Lady
Yeah.
Gunner.
Like the
So
trailer was nice. I give it like a 7 out of 10 because it was just if you leave, who's gonna follow? If
If
you fight, like I was just like,
if you
yeah,
knew
what?
the Star Wars landscape, you would have been like, "Ooh, talk to
yeah,
me, talk
because
to me
that's what's
nice."
exciting to me. Like this trailer insinuates that our boy Kyle Kestis as may dip into the dark side a little bit, and I think that's really kind of interesting. Because I mean, what the last time that we got a that type of gameplay where we're dipping into the dark side was what the Unleashed, and then before that, I think Knights of the Old Republic, which both of those games are more or less like written off as non-canonical at this point. So if anything, it's exciting to know that we have a game that is set in Star Wars canon with a Jedi because and I was just talking to Four Eyes about this, and shout out to Four Eyes, he's awesome. Definitely check him out, black content creator as well. um about how the biggest problem with Jedi Fallen Order is that the gameplay and the combat is great, but it doesn't really become great until 15-20 hours in, once you start to really get into the skill tree. And then by that point the game is over, and then at that point, if you want to do a new game plus, you actually start with none of your abilities. uh, so granted, this is a game with a Cal Kestis that has all his abilities, and I'm hoping that there's no trope of, oh, you forgot everything, start at the bottom of the skill tree. It should be really fun to kind of start off as a full-blown Jedi and see where that takes this game.
Y'all do know who the big bad guy is, right? Supposedly.
No, I do not.
Oh, Morbius. Morbius, and he has a classic line in the thing. It's Morbin time.
I hate you. But hey, it was in due time that you pulled up with a dad joke. So I'm here.
Dude, I'm super excited because I love the Sith. The Sith are way more interesting than any Jedi ever. Argue with your mama bald headed panties, because the Sith are very methodical creatures that sit there and do not make any moves unless it's absolutely necessary. And if you know anything about the Star Wars universe, the Sith have yet made a major calculated move. Even though things have been done, as far as the war versus the Sith and Jedi, there has not been one move that's been made. And
Just Order 66.
yeah, bro, there's not been one move that's been made. And if you know anything of the Sith, there's only two allowed at one time. Really one. But it's called the power of two. You must have one with the power, and then you must have one that yearns for the power to become the Sith Lord. And you train your Sith essentially to basically try to kill you. And if you are killed while you're the Sith, that means you have become weak. You are weak. You are no longer right to be called yourself the Sith. But until then, the one that you are training must yearn for your power enough to try to take you over. And that was I can't remember his name. There's a lot
Lady
of
Gunner is just feeling herself. You see how she just keep switching sides? She's like, which side am I cuter on?
No, I'm listening to him. Like you want to train somebody to kill you to become stronger. That's not me. I want to be strong, but I also want a peaceful life. Like I want to have a peaceful and be like, I'm going to train you.
No,
to
the
kill
Sith,
me.
the Sith out here, the Sith out here letting it know, because do you understand how powerful one Sith Lord is?
Yeah.
They make battalions tremble with a single name. One Sith Lord was able to basically deprive an entire planet of its entire life force by itself within seconds.
The Sith sound depressed. I'm not training nobody to kill me. I'm not training nobody to kill me. What?
So what makes, and I know this is like a bit of a drift off from the actual game announcement, but but in my opinion, it's still relevant because it looks like our boy Callaghan might be dipping into the dark side. But what's most interesting about the dark side versus the Jedi is, and it's almost like that Destiny effect where they are essentially just like, all right, well, cool, we've got these powers. There's only certain things we're going to do with them. We're going to move stuff with our minds. We might, pull a quick Jedi mind trick, usually an innocent one, and we'll use it in order to move our bodies. That is it. That is all. Versus on the dark side, it's like, hey, you guys know this does other stuff, right? Like, I get what you're using it for,
sort of, because there are basically two Bibles in there. Well, three if you're counting the gray, the gray.
Well, but the gray doesn't necessarily work off of a moral code. He's just like, hey, there are two sides to this, and we can make each side one side and use it. Yeah,
they do work off of code though. But I can't have this talk with you because I will nerd out, and this show will be 8 hours long. So I'm not going to go any further because if you look at each their own personal word that they follow, they go back and forth. Because the Jedi, but the Sith are essentially the Chia in a way of how they do things and how they see things, and how they maneuver. The Jedi have done more harm in the ways of things of growth than the actual Sith have. Jedi get in their own way all the time. They continuously get in their own way all the time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and what a lot of that comes from is the fact that it's almost like a vibe of being like pompous and like just like self-glorifying, because when you see it's like, all right, I got a vision that that my girlfriend is gonna die. Oh no, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to the dark side because the dark side can help me to stop her from dying. And then what actually kills her? The stress of you going to the dark side. And then here we go again with my boy Luke Skywalker in the newest trilogy. It's like, oh man, I had a nightmare that Kylo Ren goes to the dark side. Maybe I should kill him so he doesn't go. And what actually makes him go to the dark side? The fact that Luke tried to kill him. So, and I mean, and they continue to create those issues because I think the biggest issue with the Jedi is they have a God complex. And because they see things and they're aware of things, they fall victim to that God complex, and they start to do things to change the will of the Force, and ultimately they end up seeing it out. Which clearly, if it was the will of the Force and the Force was only a thing for good, the Force wouldn't actively show you things that lead you in a direction that cause people to go to the dark side. But we can talk about this stuff all day.
Yeah, because I'm a bring you into the way of the Force, G, and allow
you to bring you to the dark side.
No, he knows better than to come on this side, because only those of the will of understanding what the dark side is may sit here, and G is not the type to go past that. He is not that individual, because I'm telling you, once you learn the Sith throughout the centuries of these individuals, you'll be like, wow, terrifying individuals, terrifying, world-bending individuals.